Entrepreneurship Summit is a social investment that helps young entrepreneurs from Nigeria to create sustainable jobs and economic opportunities, critically by giving them access to market, a level playing field, access to finance, and access to skills and technology or knowledge. We have just brought together several human capital in the areas of finance. We had the Bank of Industry talk to the young people about financing options and how to prepare their businesses, making them bankable to be able to access their loans. We've also had serial entrepreneurs tell the youths about how to start a business out of no capital.
I'm sure most of you have more than 2,000 naira. You know, with the entrepreneurs that we've worked with over the years, when we say, I want you to start your business with 2,000 naira, the first thing is what? Laughter. It's like, no, it's not possible, you know, it's a joke. Give me 100,000 or give me 250, somewhere for 8 million. But me, I've never started a business with 8 million before. So if I haven't started one, then you can do with much less. So
if you look at all the studies that they do, the biggest problem for entrepreneurs is not financing. It's really not. So I think for me, I would say that the first thing is to find what is that problem that you want to solve, that you're passionate about solving. For me, it was trash. And many people ask me that, how can you went to MIT, be dealing with waste? Why? You know, you're a kole. But really, you know, like they said, you know, there's money in waste. So you have to do something that you think is a big problem. And then also, I think second thing that I would really encourage people to do is not to give up. There have been so many, you know, stories that we've heard today of people that have been really at the bottom. They've gone through so much, and you see them now, they're doing very well. But I can tell you, I'm sure they had some really, really difficult experience that they went through. So I would say just don't give up and, you know, just keep pushing and things will work out.
There's something I want to talk about that is very alien to this generation. And whenever I say that on any platform, they say I'm an old man, and that is called delayed gratification. The young people just, you know, as some of you say, we have an Indomie generation where people just want stuff to happen. Everybody just wants to live in a duplex in Lekki Phase 1, drive a G-Wagon. I started a store, 12 square meter store at Onigbongbo with the money I've saved up, making clothes for people. And with that savings, I had the option, like your normal Nigerian young entrepreneur into fashion or a designer, to buy a car. Audi 80 was there, Honda Hala was there back then, they were the ish. But I mean, God gave me the wisdom to open up a store. Opening up a store, people were able to come to the stores against using your car to go everywhere and don't have a base. Well, long story cut short, 1 year, had that store. In a couple of months, would make back the investment, but I still didn't have a car. Went ahead to open a second store in the Kota shopping complex, and I think the seventh store is opening opposite the Palms now, and there's still no equity.
The Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, though sponsored by the Bank of Industry, is different from the Bank of Industry's Youth Empowerment Scheme. So there are two different schemes, and we are privileged to have the Bank of Industry support our initiative. Our Youth Entrepreneurship Summit is put together by Palm Tree Strategy and General Consulting.
Nigeria is a developing economy, and in all developing economies, the driving force of business and growth are the micro, small, and medium enterprises. So if you look at our population demography, it is very critical that you cannot make any plan in Nigeria and to think you're going to make progress without planning for the youths. With 7% of our population below the age of 30, it's very critical that all our strategies and programs for the future must actually incorporate the youths. That is one. Two, for Bank of Industry, we also recognize that fact, and that is why we've launched two programs. You know, one is the Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund, which was launched last year, and that is targeted at youth corpers who have led investors, very great ideas, very young people who can submit business plans, and each of them is entitled to a limit of 2 million naira to do any business of their choices. And currently, we've gone to the first round, and we're currently disbursing funds to young entrepreneurs. And it's amazing because I was privileged to be part of the interview session. We got about 3,000 applicants, you know, and then we shortlisted up to 1,000. And then we had training for 800, trained by the best professionals in the environment. And when you read the business plan of these young people coming from the university, it's amazing that we have a lot of capacity in the system that are yet to be unlocked.
The idea behind having an expo and a summit with a talk show, with coaching sessions, one-on-one meetings, is basically create like a small business World Cup, if you call it. So we want young people to come into Lagos or Abuja every year and have like a trade fair. So you see proudly made in Nigeria goods, and you find enterprise that's made by the delegates who come here every year. So we hope that it is a true marketplace and a true expo. So you would have meetings going on, you would have one-on-one meetings, you'd have people doing business and signing and closing deals and networking going on. So that's a true sign of a fruitful conference.
If you could also share maybe from your experience, what innovations you have seen more recently, that are local, homegrown, that are solving a lot of the current challenges, be it in agriculture or technology or any other industries that you've come across.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Meka Olowola. I'm the managing partner of General Consulting, and also incidentally the chairperson of the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit. I will make it very, very brief. And the heart of the essence of my point is in the point that you made, Bumi, which is value. Any business model that is centered around solving a problem is the one that is going to succeed. So the first thing that you must do is to ask yourself, which problem am I solving? And if you look around here, you will see that is actually the story of everybody who has succeeded. So before you leave here today, make sure that you go away with an opportunity. What do I mean by that? You have our exhibition stands at the free expo for you to take advantage of. We have back of industry is there, and they're saying that there's a fund that is able to contribute up to 2 million, 10 million in certain instances, depending on your presentation. What is the compelling business case that you have? We have people here who are looking, who will be happy to have franchises. We have Mr. Okonkwo here. He is one of the most prolific real estate experts that we have in Nigeria today. Nothing stops you from being a marketer for him. You can sell, you can have a franchise come out of that immediately. So ask yourself, why have I come here? And what am I going with? Okay, so if you don't get it here, go to the stand. I'm sure that you'll find something.
I feel that my speakers were able to connect to the audience. For instance, there was a lot of feedback from Ubong King. Ubong King's story is really phenomenal. He talks about starting his business from his bedroom that he shared with his wife. No capital, just had a dream and just wanted to get out of the rat race. And he was able to break down, several statistics, and he was very statistical, he was very clinical, and giving us stats on the percentage of youths that are unemployed in Nigeria. So Nigeria's population, for instance, is made up of about 75% youths or even more, and then out of this 75%, 55% of them are unemployed. And he said, if you're waiting for government to create a job for you, then you are 19 years late. If you are 40, and he inspired the young people to be able to look beyond getting capital to starting, just creating a solution that solves problems for 100 people. And Ubong basically said that if you solve a problem for 100 people, there's no way you cannot be financially independent.
I went to Korea for 1 week, South Korea. I stayed 5 days chopping salad. It was not working. I wanted something that would block air. Something like pounded yam and white soup, something that will block the upper and lower mandibles. That is what I wanted. So I Googled, where can I get food? And the Google told me I should go to Richard One. And I paid $100 to go there. I took my wife with pride. We got there, came back, that's $200. When we got there, I saw an Igbo man who married a Senegalese woman, and I told them to give me egusi soup. When they served me the soup, the fish was here. The melon was under. The oil was this side. So for me to eat, I needed to stir everything together to catch the food. And when I gathered it, I suffered in Korea. I could not get pounded yam. I could not get goat meat because you refused to export it. So talk to BOI, talk to NEPC, and make sure that I have good food next time I go to Korea.
We can all go home now.
I also have people like Mr. Kennedy, who founded Netcom Oaks, an entrepreneur in the construction sector, who literally dropped out of school, like he said, and is a multimillionaire today, is a role model, is under 39, doing multi-million-dollar construction projects all across Nigeria.
The last time I traveled to Anambra State to speak at a forum like this, as I was going, what came to my mind was a blocked drainage filled with debris. And I said to myself, this is an opportunity for someone. Someone can write to the local council, request to clear drainage on streets, so. And when it is approved, that person has started a business. That person will employ 1, 2, 3, 4 people to clean that place, and that person has become an entrepreneur. Now, opportunities are abound everywhere within our environment, but you need to sieve the environment. See what you can take out of it. Check the value it can create to fill a need. When that need is filled, you will get what you call valuable consideration, which is money. So, stemming from that, I will enjoy everyone that if you go and check, if you are waiting till when you write that very big business plan before you start, then one is making a mistake. Because when God gives you an idea, He has also given we have close to 200 million people in Nigeria, and 70% of them are youths. He has also given 70% of Nigerians that idea. The first to hit that idea has hit a gold mine.
We also had Mr. Kingston Young of BBB Agro speak to the young people about opportunities in the agro sector, letting the young people know that farming was now the new sexy. Gone are the days when people looked at farmers like, retirees who didn't really have what to do. And he was able to tell them, as a farmer, he's been through several rungs of society and work. And he started out as a mason, started out as, a hand on the construction field, and ended up farming and looking at the opportunities on there and extrapolating the value that an entrepreneur could have just investing as little as 50,000.
I left the shores of this country for America. And in America, I started selling vacuum cleaners. For the first month, I never sold any vacuum cleaner. I persisted. I had a very strong accent. And everybody would always say, your accent, we don't just understand what you say. But we will teach you something. They give me some handouts and stuff. I live by those things by then. And I want to say something to the young people out here. Honesty is a very powerful policy. And I also believe in walking 95 miles per hour, not from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. From vacuum cleaner selling in America, I did it for a while. I did some sales. After a while, I started making sales. But that was not my thing. I knew I was a technical man. I left that business for another business, construction works. The fellow that took me, a black American, that took me to the construction site in which I first worked. We went to pick paper, the trash in the environment. When they finished working, we pick. So the first day I got there, the man told me, African man, slow down. Don't work too hard. You have to pick this paper one by one. Then tomorrow we'll have work to do. And I told him, no, sir, I don't think like that. I have to get this trash out of my way so I can find fortune. And really, not 3 o'clock, not up to 3 hours, I found favor and fortune. A white man called me and said, young man, you have too much zeal in this business. What you're doing, picking trash, you're too good. I will teach you something today. And I say, whatever you teach me today, so I'll be the best of that thing. I give you 30 days.
So there was also a takeaway from Ade Adefeko of Olam. You know, Olam's Ade spoke about the vast opportunities. He said 11 billion naira worth of food is imported every year, every single year. And if you as a young entrepreneur can just take maybe 0.05% of that, you are a multimillionaire. And the barriers to entry are not so much. So he was able to speak on the secrets of the trade, of how to get in, the several sectors that you could come in at the micro level, at the small and medium level, to be able to get a piece of the pie.
About having discussions, seminars, symposia. But what do you do after that? There must be takeaways. And those takeaways are what you put down in terms of a communique that says, in the next 3 to 5 years, we will do X, we will do Y. And who measures those milestones? Those milestones must be ticked. What doesn't get measured doesn't get done. In Nigeria, look at agriculture, for example. Nigeria has about close to 84 million hectares of arable land. Less than a third of that is cultivated. Look at farmers that we have. The farmers we have in Nigeria are aging. The bracket is between 55 and 70. Tell me, what does a farmer in that age bracket of between 55 and 70 still be doing in the farm? In other advanced climes, those kind of people are already in retirement and probably qualify for what my good friend here talks about, already the wealth fund. But the youth, and the bulk of you are here, innovate or die. You guys have the opportunity to transform this country from your own little area, your sphere. You see, it's always important to affect your society from your sphere of influence. And you guys now have to go through technology. Technology is the new thing. I was with one of the panelists, Tayo Ovioso, who won an award at the African Leadership Network for what? For his technological innovation in the area of what? In the area of payment platforms. So for me, I think technology is very, very critical, but technology and agriculture, there has to be a connect. And that connect is what we should be discussing. Beyond oil, ladies and gentlemen, the youth, the future is yours. Grab it and grab it now.
So Bumi Otegbade also was one of our speakers who was a rave at the conference, and Bumi was able to speak about the entrepreneurs that he had raised. Bumi is credited with raising over $2 million for about 500 upstarts in a space of about 8 years since he's been, between Nigeria and India. And the young people were able to understand the Ready, Set, Work initiative that he's partnered with the Lagos State government to do. And that's basically taking entrepreneurs, putting them in jobs just so they could understand what it took to keep a job and to run a job, and then set them free on their own and then see them do well and give other jobs. So there was a lot of feedback on Bumi, and Bumi was able to connect with the young, youthful entrepreneurs because he's also a young man.
Now, Lagos State government, for example, has a project called Ready, Set, Work. Okay, if you go readysetwork.com.ng, it's the Ministry of Education that is working directly with a couple of tertiary institutions in Lagos State, LASU, LASCOTEC, LASPOTEC, and so forth. The idea is to provide this connection between the town and the gown. But you too, you agree with me that most of what you have learned, honestly, about life, it didn't come from the class. Abi? All we are saying is learn more. The government is doing its own part to try to bridge that gap and make the connection happen. But you have to go out there and collect even more information, because will you say, because the government is going to take the next 6 years to develop, you now wait until they fix the problem? No. All right? The companies that we're building, we're even trying to make sure that university is no longer necessary, and that within 1 year on the job, you get everything you need. That's already happening with a few of our employees. So
this was for the youths of Nigeria, and that every other business summit cared about something else, but this was tailored to ensure that the young entrepreneurs in Nigeria have a voice, they have access to finance. You know, the nameless entrepreneurs that you would see on several documentaries, like the young Nigerians who would create planes that would be battery powered and all, and not get access, you know, to finance and all, and those kind of things will come to an end. So I am thankful and grateful to the Bank of Industry, who stepped up to the plate and supported this initiative. They made it happen. And I'm also grateful to Paga Payment Systems. I'm also grateful to Protection Plus Services Limited and Netcom Oaks for making my dream come true. And they truly saw that the young entrepreneurs were empowered. We have a database of young businesses that we're working with and we're incubating, because it's not just a once-off event. It is an initiative that is assessed nationally annually, and by this time next year we would be able to tell you the businesses that came in the room, where they are at the moment, and the success stories, and share that with Nigeria.
Please, if you're a youth here, we have so many youths, please, you are welcome to NTA. If we want to talk about people or youths who are older now or developed, in fact, we'll be talking about maybe half of the people sitting here today. The movie stars, the musicians, your momos, every other person, most of them, they started with NTA. They started from there, and today they have succeeded. So we implore you, please, come to NTA if you have ideas. More especially, we can showcase you in this our program, Young Boss. If you have talent, you're not paying, don't mind people who say NTA, they collect money. We have social responsibility to the nation, to the young, to the old. Please come. You are welcome.
So at Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, we believe in partnerships. We've gone into strategic partnerships with the Nigeria Television Authority, and we will present all the content from the summit in bite sizes and put those content on Yes Nigeria TV. So you'd have Yes NTV and also on our YouTube channels, and young people all across Nigeria 24 hours in a day can go on and get inspiration and get skills and learning tools off of the conferences. We also had rapporteurs, and so everything that was spoken at the conference, all the recommendations will be tabled to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, tabled also to the Ministry of Labour and Employment, and also at the relevant agencies at the Ministry of Education. So we hope forth that you can, go on to yesnigeria.com.ng and you can find those videos, and you can also follow us on social media. On YouTube, we are Yes Nigeria. On Facebook, we are Yes Nigeria. On Twitter and Instagram, we are at Yes Summit NG. That's YESUMMIT NG.
In contributing to nation building, in playing our parts, this is the beginning of greatness. This is the beginning of, a journey that we know that when we come back again, this is the first series that we're having. But in 5 years' time, we are hoping that some of the faces that we have in the room here will be sitting here and sharing their ideas about how they came, got inspired, and now running their own multi-million-dollar organization. And I have no doubt that that's going to happen. If you believe that, put your hands together for yourselves.
Every entrepreneur needs a mentor and a coach that they can be accountable to. And all through this process, for me, it is the chairman of the advisory board for Youth Entrepreneurship Summit, Mr. Meka Lowola, who's also the managing partner, Zenera Consulting. I and the entire team at Youth Entrepreneurship Summit would like to thank him for his support and his vision and for being magnanimous enough to give the Youth Entrepreneurship Summit to Secretariat. We are grateful for this.